You have to learn to choose people who choose you. I feel like one of the biggest things we do as humans is continuously focus on the people who don't even want to be in our lives. We're continuously focused on either proving people right or proving who we are to certain people, proving our value to certain people, trying to get people to see why they should have us in our life, get people to see why they were wrong about us in a way. And what it leads to us doing is really overlooking everything that's already in our life, from having the gratitude for the people and the things that we already have. It's like we're so focused on what we're without that we give no energy and we give no attention and we give no thanks or appreciation to the things that are already here, the things that actually do love us, the things that do actually value us. And what I believe this is really a problem with is a lot of our egos. A lot of us have a hard time accepting that we aren't the best option for certain people, that we aren't certain people's choice, or that other people don't care to see the value in us. And so it makes us go out of our way to try and prove why they should want us in our life or prove why we are valuable. And I think it's just a thing where it makes us feel that if certain people don't choose us, there's something wrong with us personally. It's like we internalize other people's decisions and the choices that they make regarding us to the point that it makes us question ourselves. Am I a bad person? Do I need to change? What's wrong with me? How could they not want me in their life? What did I do wrong? It makes us ask all these different questions that challenges our belief about ourselves or how we view ourselves, our own self-image. And I think that's why we try so hard to get them to accept us, because it's like we haven't learned to not internalize those things and we don't want to have to face those questions. But recently what I've had to start reminding myself of is that sometimes you aren't the best choice for people. Sometimes you don't belong in certain people's lives. Sometimes people are going to overlook the value in you, and you have to become okay with that. You have to learn to accept that. You have to allow people to make their own choices and own decisions and live with that. Sometimes it takes certain people losing you. Sometimes it takes you being out of certain people's lives and them actually feeling the effect of you not being in their life, for them to recognize what you actually brought to their life. Sometimes when people overlook your value, they don't become aware of it until they're without it. And when we put so much energy into these things that don't even want us, we're overlooking the fact that, hey, there's actually people in our life that do value us. And when we put so much energy towards getting the things that don't even want us, we're not giving that energy to the people who are right there, to the people who want love from us and are giving love to us but aren't receiving that back. It's like we're so busy pouring into other people that aren't pouring into us that we're almost empty and have nothing left to give to the people who actually do want to see us succeed, to the people who actually do want to be in our life, to the people who actually do want to give us our love. And then what that leads to is these people leaving our life. That leads to the people who actually do care about you, the people who genuinely do love you, the people who genuinely make you a good person and who are good to have in your life. That leads to them leaving, because then they feel left out. Then they feel their value isn't being recognized. Then they feel, hey, the energy they're trying to give to you, that isn't being reciprocated. And so you really have to learn to value the things that are already in your life and stop giving so much of your energy towards the things that aren't giving you anything in return. It's like you're giving so much over here and you're getting nothing back. It's like it's all for nothing. And you should never even want anybody in your life who you have to beg to see the value in you. If you consistently show up as yourself, you're consistently showing why you're a valuable person. You're consistently showing people what you have to offer, what you can bring into their life, how you're a good person. You should never be in a position where it's like you have to convince people to see that, or you have to constantly beg people in order to give you that energy back, because that should just be a telling thing that, hey, this person just isn't for me. Hey, this isn't a person I should be investing all this energy into, because clearly it's taking a toll on me and it takes so much effort to keep them around. And anybody you have to put that amount of effort into in order to keep around probably just isn't a person you should have in your life, probably isn't a person that's going to be around long in your life, or probably isn't as important in your story as you want them to be. Some people are just going to be distant friends. Some people are just going to be acquaintances, and that's okay, but don't try and force them to be something more when that's just not their role, and that's not a place that you can force them to. I want you to picture yourself as like a shepherd, and you have like a herd or a pack of sheep, a pack of, let's say, 20-30 sheep, and you keep having this one sheep who keeps leaving the pack consistently over and over and over again, and you keep leaving the 19 or the 29 flock of sheep that are staying, and they're being obedient, and they're being the people you need them to be. They're serving you, and they're providing to your life the value you need them to provide, or they're just doing good. And you keep constantly leaving the pack that actually wants to be around you for a one sheep that, hey, doesn't want to be around you, doesn't see the value in being obedient towards you, who doesn't want anything to do with being in your life, essentially. And eventually, over time, you're gonna keep going after that one sheep, and you're gonna come back, and your whole flock is gone because you kept abandoning them. They had no leader, they had nothing to pour into, and they felt unloved, they felt unwanted. And so now, hey, they disperse, and now you've lost everything at the cost of trying to just get one sheep to return. Sometimes you have to truly ask yourself, like, is this person even worth all the energy that it requires to keep them around? Sometimes we try and be in so much control of things out of our control, to the point that it drains us, to a point that we have nothing left to give to anything else, nothing left to give to ourselves, nothing left to give to other people in our lives. When you constantly try and control other people's feelings, other people's perceptions of you, how other people feel about you, those are things out of your control. And in order to even slightly get a control over them, it takes so much talking, it takes so much conversations, it takes so much mental effort. Have you ever tried to control a situation so much to the point that it was literally draining over time, because you had so many conversations, you were constantly trying to show up and be your best self, constantly trying to prove your worth to them? After a while, that stuff gets draining, and it's like, is it even worth it? Because sometimes you have to truly see certain situations, see people leaving in and out of your life, which happens throughout your entire life. You have to see it as they're making room for something better. Sometimes God has a plan to remove certain people or let people pass by. You get experience with certain people, and it makes room for the better that he has planned for you. Sometimes them not being the choice, or them not being the person, that's making room for somebody who is. And you're overlooking the person who might possibly already be in your life, or someone who's trying to actually give you what you want, essentially, or give you what you need, or or someone that fits into your standards, someone who's actually valuable to you. You might be overlooking that person because all your attention's over here. So you have to start seeing people and seeing certain situations as it is what it is, learning to accept them, learning to allow them to be what they're going to be, and not trying to force them into something that it's not trying to force them into something that's going to require you to lose track of everybody else and have gratitude for what already is in your life and what actually wants to be in your life. Because sometimes we get so caught up in the ideas we created in our head, the expectations we have for certain people, the potential we saw in other people, that it's hard to let go of those things. It's hard to let go of the hope and really just accept the reality of the situation, accept that, hey, it's not going to turn into this. Hey, this person isn't the person who I expected them to be. Hey, this person doesn't value me like I wanted them to value me. And sometimes that is a hard thing to accept. Sometimes that is a hard thing to just let go of and move on from. But I think you have to sometimes just realize the damage that it causes you to try and force it into those things that you want it to be. And sometimes you just have to see it as it is and realize that, hey, I got to heal from this. Hey, I got to move on from this. But what I can be grateful for is the people that are still around, the people who are being the people that I need them to be, the people who are loving me and giving me value and showing up for me, supporting me, believing me, reassuring me of who I am, and value those things. Because you never want to get in this state where it's like you're constantly trying to please other people, you're constantly trying to prove your worth to other people, you're wasting all this energy on something that's not even guaranteed to return back into your life. Because again, that takes you away from your true self. That takes you away from caring about the things that actually matters. That takes you away from caring about the people who actually care about you. And when you really learn to not internalize other people's decisions and choices that they make about you, you'll start to become okay with that more and more. You'll start to understand that, hey, it's okay. Not everybody's for me. Hey, not everybody's going to choose me. Not everybody's going to see my value, but that doesn't determine how I also have to see myself. You know, having an understanding of the value you provide to other people, what you bring to other people's lives, and understanding that, hey, sometimes people are going to miss out on that. And you have to become okay with that and not make it where you try and prove everybody wrong, or you try and get other people to regret missing out on you. And you know, giving all this energy to things that in the end really don't matter. I appreciate you guys for tuning into the video. Be sure to sign up for one-on-one coaching and join the Discord. Like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notices. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.